All right, what is up, beautiful people? So if you've never done any breath work ever in your life, today is your lucky day. We are going to be covering some of the basics of breath work, and we're going to do a round of something like, you may have heard of the Wim Hof breath work, breath of fire. There's many different kinds. We're going to make this as simple as possible so that we can do our first round of breath work ever, because there are crazy benefits of feeling good, improving our health, settling the mind. It's an overall unique experience, and it's something that we always have access to. We always have access to our breath, and deciding to use it consciously is one of the ways that we can reap some of these rewards. See what it really feels like. Feel your body, feel the senses. It is going to be insane. It is insane. The blood, our body's going to be deprived of oxygen, and the body's going to send off this emergency response that will say, oh my gosh, we are low on oxygen. We really need to get our shit together, so that when we do start breathing normal again, what happens is that the brain says, yes, I am first, I'm the most important, and it will send all of the blood to the brain. And it is quite a euphoric feeling after doing this breath work, and that's one of the reasons why it feels so good. But instead of trying to intellectually understand it, it is far better to feel the experience of what this does. It is consciously breathing, and I'm going to make this as simple as possible. You may see people doing their breath work. They may say things like only use your mouth breathing, or nose only, or lay down and do it, or some people use their hands in a motion as they breathe in and out. Sometimes it may include squeezing of those lower muscles to contract and move some of the spinal fluid upwards. We're not going to even touch on any of that. We're going to make this as simple as possible, just breathing, and it involves hold and release and hold again. And yeah, we're going to get started. So to keep this as easy and simple as possible, all we're going to do is 30 breaths as hard and or as fast as you can. So whether you use your mouth, nose breathing, a combination of both, whatever we're going to do, we're going to do 30 breaths as hard and as fast as possible. And I'm out here in the public, in the open, just because it's a nice day and it feels so good and the sun's out and I love it. Usually I would do this indoors in private, because yeah, we want to have our privacy when we do something like this. We don't want to be thinking of if other people are going to be hearing us, or people are looking at us, or anything that would distract us from the purpose of why we're doing this. So ideally, if you're comfortable with it, you can do it outside in public if you don't care what anybody thinks, and that is an acquired skill. Definitely is an acquired skill, but usually 99% of the time I'm doing this in my own room in privacy, because it can get pretty loud with our breathing and probably will attract some attention. So that's what I'm going to be working with here today, being in public. But yeah, step one, you can either lay down or sit down in a chair, be comfortable as possible, and we're just going to breathe 30 breaths in and out. So once we do our hard and fast 30 breaths, on that exhalation, on that 30th exhalation, we're going to hold that. We're going to hold the air out for as long as possible. We're going to close our eyes to get into some Zen mode, whatever we need to get into. Lock it, hold it out for as long as possible. And when we reach the urge of taking that inhalation, we're going to breathe it in, and we're going to hold that too as well. So we're going to hold that for as long as possible, and that will consist of one round. And after that, you can take a few breaths, rest a bit for a few seconds before going into the second round. And that's going to happen for a total of 3 times to really feel, you're going to feel the benefits after doing it for 3 rounds. And I want you to pay attention to what it's like after you release that last breath of a hold. So I'm going to do a round. And no, you don't have to sit like this. You don't have to sit any which way possible. You could even be lying down, eyes closed. I close my eyes to focus on the breaths. Sometimes I do really short breaths because I feel like I just kind of rush through it sometimes, but I'm going to try to take some longer breaths. And I usually do nose breathing only, and I try to put as much force into it as possible that feels comfortable for me. Some people will really exaggerate things, like move their body to a rhythm for those 30 breaths. Whatever feels comfortable for you, you can start whichever way possible, but yeah, as long as there is a start, that's all that matters. So we're gonna get started with one round of Wim Hof breathing, breath work, and hopefully this video inspires you to take action on your first experience with breath work. Here it goes. We start with an exhalation. We start with an empty chamber, and we go from there. Alright, so that was one round, and something I forgot to mention was that sometimes your nose might be blocked or whatever, and things might just start flying out. Since I'm in the outdoors, you know, I would just blow it out like that, whatever. Have a rag or tissue handy next to you, blow it, and just keep going is the recommendation. So that was one round, and usually for all 3 rounds I just close my eyes for all of them, and we're gonna go ahead and do 2 more rounds of this. Alright, so that feels pretty incredible. And this is also known as DMT breathing too as well. Releases DMT naturally in the body. Feelings are incredible. That's just 2 rounds of it. And every time I do it, I wonder, like, why don't I make time for this, like, every day, twice a day? It is so quick, ups the oxygen levels in the body. Something I didn't touch on was also the holds. So holds can be done in 2 ways, where for both in and out, the exhalation, you can lock it. It can be locked, so you're not applying like abdominal pressure to keep the air out. That's one way of doing it. That's the easier way. And the other way is to keep the channel open and actively force air out as the hold. And this can be done for both inhalation and exhalation, to keep an open airway, and actively flex towards keeping the air in or out. And then you have the option to lock your airway, which is a lot easier. There's no force needed. Locks, and you already know the air is staying in. And also, I think I mentioned earlier, an advanced technique to do as well is to clench our muscles down here at the bottom, the perineum, our pelvic floor, and that will help to clench and raise spinal fluid, get the spinal fluid going up to our brain. It'll circle, and it feels that's advanced, and that's, you know, when more practice gets done, more comfortable with it, that's another technique to do. So we're on our final round, and we're going to get after it. And this dude's just killing this track. Oh my gosh, he's running really fast around this track. I was doing sprints here, but this guy's done laps. Damn. Okay. All right, last round. DMT breathing, Wim Hof breathing, breath of fire, whatever it is. Yeah, you'll see many other techniques, videos on this. They say to exhale through the mouth and let that hot air come out. Like, there's so many different options to this, but all we want to do, the impact of this video is to just get started on our first session of breath work, 3 rounds of breathing, and to feel the benefits. Then we can move on to all those other things. So last round of breathing, it already feels incredible. You'll notice it in your vision, the way you speak, all these other things, but I want you to feel it. So last round. Alright, and so that's 3 rounds. So I hope this video helps to get started on our journey of breath work. And at the end of it, if we have time, we lay down and we enjoy. Alright, so this breath work is pretty powerful. Do it on your own pace. And they say the feeling's so euphoric sometimes, there's no need to do drugs. You get high on your own supply. And this is to manipulate energy that we already have that's all around us for us to feel good. And up our oxygen levels, can't go wrong. Up our oxygen levels, brain functions better. And yeah, good luck on starting your journey with breathwork. Thank you for watching.